90-90 hip internal rotation and external rotation. You're going to start by positioning your legs in 90 of hip flexion, 90 knee bend, and a 90 ankle bend. You're going to do the same with your back leg, 90 knee flexion, and 90 degrees of ankle dorsiflexion. Once you're in this position, you want to keep your trunk up nice and tall. You're going to take your hand, you're going to grab your foot, and then you're going to frame the outside of your forward knee with your other hand. From here, I want you to keep your chest up, actively pull from your hip flexor, bringing your trunk down towards the floor, getting a stretch in the glute of the forward leg. Once you're in this position, we want to make it active for your glutes. So drive your forward knee down into the ground for a 5-second hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax and see if you can pull your trunk from your hip flexors further down towards the floor without rounding your back. Once in this position, drive your forward knee down into the ground. See if you can intensify the stretch. Then from here, pushing through your knee, bring your trunk up to the start position. Place your hands behind your hips. And we're going to shift, taking the stretch from this hip from this hip over to this hip. So now we're going to start stretching the internal rotators of your back leg. So once in this position, you're going to take this knee and drive it down into the ground. See if you can actively get into further hip internal rotation of this back leg. And relax. And do it again. Drive this knee down into the ground. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you're going to switch sides. Setting yourself up, 90 bend at your hip, knee, ankle of the back leg. From here, chest up. Using your hip flexors, pull yourself down towards the ground. Chest up, bring your hands towards your knee, grab your front foot. From here, drive your front leg down into the ground. Let's hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. See if you can use your hip flexors. Pull your trunk closer towards the floor, intensifying the stretch on the back hip. Hold for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Actively drive your forward knee down into the ground. Bring your trunk up to the start position. And now we're going to switch to the other side, stretching the hip internal rotators of the back leg. So hands behind your hips. And then once in this position, take this knee, drive it down into the ground, intensifying the stretch of your hip internal rotators. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. And make it active again. Drive that knee down into the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. Now we're going to go into our tall kneel toe tucked position. So you want to start knees together, feet together, toes tucked. From here, we're going to sit your butt onto your heels. You want to keep your trunk up. Good. Hold in this position. We want to get a nice stretch in our big toe, the bottom of our feet, and you may even get some stretching in the front of your knees. Hold this position as prescribed, and then from here, we're going to get into tall kneeling with our toes flat on the ground. From your tall kneeling position with your knees together, feet together, you're going to flatten the tops of your feet. You're going to sit your butt onto your heels, and we're going to go for a stretch in the top of our feet, our shins, and you may even get a stretch in the lower portion of your quads. Hold this position as prescribed. Next, we're going to go into lumbar lock, rib roll, thoracic rotation on elbows. Going from the tall kneel position, you're going to widen your knees. You're going to lower yourself down onto your elbows. Britt's going to take her left hand and she's going to grab the right side of her ribs. She's going to take a breath in through her nose. On her exhale, she's going to push through her hands and she's going to rotate her thoracic spine, eyes up towards the ceiling as far as she can. Pause at the end range, take a breath in. Exhale, see if you can get a little bit further. On her inhale, she's going to go back to the start position, and we're going to repeat. Breath in. Exhale, rotate. Eyes looking up towards the ceiling. Pause at the end range. Take a breath in. Exhale, see if you can go a little further. Come back to the start, and then she'll repeat on the other side. Right hand grabbing left side of her ribs. Take a breath in. Exhale, rotate eyes up towards the ceiling. Pausing at that end range. Take a breath in. Feel the lateral side of your trunk expand. Exhale, rotating further. Come back to the start position. You're good. From here, we're going to go into a half kneeling adductor stretch. You want to start by getting into a half kneel position. Make sure the toes are tucked of the leg that's down. From here, you're going to take your forward leg, you're going to bring it out towards the side. Start by having your heel underneath your knee. Once in this position, we're going to drive our knee over our toe, keeping our heel placed down on the ground, squeezing the glute of that leg that's moving. Go as far as you can into a comfortable position. And then you're going to pull yourself back to the start. And again, drive your knee over your toe, heel down, squeezing your glutes, feeling a stretch in the front of your groin, and come back to the start position. When you do this stretch, if you feel like you're getting too much of a calf stretch, I want you to take your foot and place it further out, and then go into the stretch and see if it centralizes more into your adductors. Come back to the start, and then you're going to switch sides. Starting at the half kneeling position, toes tucked. We're going to bring that forward leg out to the side. Position your knee over your heel, keeping your heel down the entire time. You're going to drive your knee over your toe. We're looking to get a stretch in the groin. Hold at the end range. Pushing through your foot, come back to the start position. Again, troubleshooting. If you go into the stretch and you feel like it's too much in your calves, shift your foot forward and try again. Go as far as you can comfortably, keeping that heel down onto the ground. Adductor stretch, pushing through your foot, come back to the start. Next, we're going to go into a standing quad stretch. Standing quad stretch. Britt's going to bring her left knee to her chest. She's going to grab her ankle. From here, she's going to pull her leg behind her, bring her heel to her butt as far as she can comfortably. Once you have your balance, you're going to take your opposite hand and you're going to bring it up, intensifying the stretch. Hold this position. If you want to intensify the stretch, see if you can actively bring your heel towards your butt, but be careful not to go too much and get a hamstring cramp. And you can lower your arm, lower your leg, and we're going to switch sides. Face camera. Okay. Bring your knee up towards your chest. Grab the front of your ankle. Pull your leg behind. Once in this position, I do want you to pay attention to see if you can tuck your pelvis and make sure you're not abducting your leg too much. Try to bring your knees together comfortably without them touching. Once you have your balance, opposite hand, bring it up overhead. Hold this position. Carefully lower down. And repeat as prescribed. Standing toe touch. You want to start with your feet together, knees together. From here, keeping your head relaxed, moving slowly, segment by segment. I want you to go down. I want you to slide. Standing toe touch. Starting with your feet together, knees together. We're going to start by rolling our chin down towards our chest, flexing our spine segment by segment until you go down as far as you can comfortably, bringing your hands towards your toes. As we do this, I want you to think about each segment of your spine flexing down, bringing your butt back behind you, getting nice elongation of your glutes, hamstrings, and your spine. Keep your head relaxed. Take a breath at the end range of this position. Try to feel your back expand. And then segment by segment, we're going to come back to the start position. Slow and controlled, tucking the pelvis, flexing, extending the spine, segment by segment, ending nice and tall. Neck cars. You're going to bring your chin towards your chest. We're going to start by going to the right. So Britt, you're going to then take your chin, you're going to scrape it against your collarbone, rotating towards your right shoulder as far as you can. Once you've run out of space, you're going to bring your ear behind you, bring it over your shoulder, eyes up towards the ceiling, as far as you can, extending your neck. Then we're going to bring our head towards the center, eyes looking up. You're going to bring your left ear towards your left shoulder, begin to flex your neck. Bring your chin towards your left shoulder, down to your collarbone, scrape it against the collarbone, back to center. And we're going to do the same thing, repeating on the same side. Same side. Keep going. Nice, slow, and controlled. You want to go as far as you can to each end range of rotation, side bend, extension, bringing it back to the other side. Good. Chin to chest, scraping against the collarbone. And now we're going to take it and we're going to do the same motion on the other side, going in the other direction. Good. Chin to chest, looking at your shoulder. Bring your ear over your shoulder, eyes up towards the ceiling, extending into the center part of your spine. Good. Chin over your shoulder. And back to the start position.